Welcome, everybody. We're excited to see you here. Okay, let me go through and see some names because we've been talking about this new toner on our consultations. So, okay, yeah. Aris is here. Darla. Love. Oh, Colleen made it. Good, good, good. Hello. Hey, Pam. Welcome in. We're gonna get started here in a moment. Amazing. Yeah, Pam's kind of kicked it off here, but while we're getting started, if you'd like to share in the chat where you're from. Hey, Karen. We always love to see where everybody's joining from. I'm here in the Midwest, so right here in Kansas City. Oh, Pamela's in Missouri. Yeah, also in Missouri. It's a little warmer today in where I'm at. It was very, very cold last week. It's still going to be chilly this week, but it's the time of year. Oh, good, Debbie. Yeah, we're excited to talk about it. Oh, A Rose is also in Kansas City. How special. Oh, I love that. Oh, Anne's from Kansas City too. You guys. Okay, I'm gonna plug a business just because we have so many Kansas Cityans here. There's a spa in town called Clove who uses Anne Marie skincare. So if you guys get facial treatments or you want to get facial treatments, um, check them out. They have another line too, but they do have a lot of Anne Marie skincare. So Clove, I think it's Clove Wellness or Clove Spa, but they are, yeah, pretty special. Perfect. Yay, good. Yeah, yeah. And the owner there, her name's Kate also, so you know she's cool. But she's really sweet. Suppose we could get started. We've got people kind of trickling in. Rachel is here and we'll see her hop on soon. Yay. Hi, Rach.
Hi.
We can go ahead and introduce ourselves. My name's Kate, and I am Anne Marie Skincare's in-house esthetician. So I get to be part of these live calls. I also host consultations and I host one-on-one consultations. So if you're new or you're just trying to figure out what products are best for you, I'm a good resource. And of course, Rachel's here.
Hello, I'm the operating officer, and I also work deeply in research development with ingredients and new product launches and things like that. Excuse me for moving in and out. I have a sick little, so I may go off and then Kate will take over and I'll hop back in as needed.
Uh, So we're gathered here, of course, because we are launching our Rose Hydrosol Toner.
Mhm.
And we're very excited. Rach, if you want, I was going to say, if you want to kick it off and start to talk about Rose and the frequency and all of that. But before we do that, Grace, do you want to introduce yourself and then tell us what our offer is today?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Grace. I'm the marketing coordinator here at ASC. And I'll keep it short, but I just love it so much. Today, we are offering 20% off our Rose Hydrosol in celebration of the launch, which is really exciting. The code for that is ASC Rose Live. I did go ahead and put it in the chat as well. Please note this code is not applicable towards subscriptions towards the Rose Hydrosol, and the code does expire at 1 p.m. Pacific time today. But I think that's it, and we should be good to go. But I'm just really excited to talk about it. So, yay.
Hmm.
Awesome.
I just sprayed myself a little bit just to get in the vibe of the rose hydrosol. It is
Perfect.
Celeste, yeah. So just a little backstory. If you've been on these calls before, you know that we've asked you what products you want. And I feel like the common theme is rose. We keep hearing from our customers that we want things that are rose scented, we want rose something. And so just thinking about what we can possibly bring to you. We have a few things coming as well in addition to this, but the simplest and most purest form of rose would either be the essential oil or the hydrosol. And we decided to launch a hydrosol. And we chose hydrosol sources from Bulgaria and Morocco. And we chose sources that are doing a distillation that isn't separate, like a byproduct from the essential oil. So there's not two separate vats. So it's combined so that you're getting a small percentage of essential oil in the hydrosol, which is incredible. And a little bit about this process of coming up with this blend. Bulgarian roses were just exquisite. They have this bright citrusy profile and they smell like sweet rose. They're amazing, but it was so bright and I wanted to mellow it out with something. And so that's where the Moroccan rose came in, which Moroccan rose had more of that classic rose profile that was maybe a little bit more perfumey, a little bit more sultry smelling. So having a small percentage of that kind of ties in. So the perfect, I think, in my opinion, is the perfect blend, these two, giving you some of that sultry classic rose with some of that bright citrus forward rose. So that's this scent profile, as you will. Um, Kate, do you want to talk a little bit about what this could be used for, the benefits of rose with mature skin types, things like
Mhm.
that? And then I'll dive into energetics after.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. So if you have used a toning mist before, if you've used one of ours, this one it's like its own kind of what entity. It's going to feel a little different than the botanical. It's going to feel a little different than the neroli. Of course, it's going to feel different than the rosemary. Rosemary is usually for a little bit oilier skin types. This one is going to be great for mature skin types. Rose is one of those florals that's kind of known for sustaining the strength of the skin, sustaining the resiliency of the skin, sustaining and promoting the resiliency of the skin. This is also going to be great for the skin types that are on the sensitive side. So if you are somebody who's kind of in that dry, aging, sensitive range, this one is going to be a really nice one for you. It's very, it will feel very soft. Hydrosols are different than, so the neroli, for example, we start this one with a nice aloe vera juice base. With the hydrosol, with what a hydrosol is, and if this is new information, a hydrosol is kind of like this watery runoff when you create an essential oil. So it's got a little bit more body to it. It's got a little bit more weight to it. It's putting a little bit more hydration back into the skin than just the pure aloe vera juice. And so for the very dry, this feels very good. And then, of course, this beautiful rose property to it. Great, great, great for skin that is kind of working on softening signs of aging, sustaining very, very resilient skin. Um, where you'll use this, of course, this is going to go in your routine like a toning mist. So this can replace the Botanical Hydration Mist. This can replace the Neroli, any one of those. And you'll use it just like those. So you'll cleanse your skin like normal. You're gonna, pat your skin dry and then mist the skin generously with the toning mist. And then, of course, like we talk about when we talk about all of our toners, you can either let that stay dampened as you apply your serum and your oil or moisturizer, or you can let that kind of dry and absorb into the skin before you apply those. And then you'll finish out your routine. Yeah, Rach, you want to talk about the energetics? I feel like when we were doing the training calls for these, the energetics of this were like some of my favorite like qualities about this coming product. Yeah.
Yeah, so um, my husband's very deep into just like the energetics and qualities of food and plant matter and just kind of tracking it. It goes back to Tesla tracking certain frequencies. And he was talking to me just like, did you know that rose is the highest among? So you take like meat and it's pretty low, and you take cooked food and it's higher, and then you take raw food and it's just at the top, and then you take rose and it just is way, 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 way above that. So it's the highest frequency of any plant matter that there is. And it's measuring about 320 megahertz frequencies. So the vibrational frequency of rose is so powerful, which is incredible. And to top that off, if you don't know and you aren't familiar with our production, all of our products are produced in a facility where we have crystals, we have sacred geometry. There's limited talking about outside conversation. It's all about the product. So putting intention into the products. And we're taking that and moving it into our co-packing facility, our shipping facility, where we set intention when people are touching the products, because someone's own frequency can have an impact in the products, just because we're all made of water and it's very volatile. So, and it could be in a positive way. So, to take this a step further, we had this produced and filled and packaged in a room where we had a love frequency playing in the background with that same megahertz. So we took the vibrational sound of the meditative love frequency, 528 hertz frequency, and had it playing while this was being produced. So, and it's interesting because when I was working on the scent profile, I had samples from, suppliers sent to me from overseas and here as well. And I made one here and I put crystal infused into it and I set intention for it. And the energy of it was so, you can feel it. If you're into this, you might know what I'm talking about. If you're not, I hope you can understand how you can feel a presence of the products. And so I had it here and then I sent the formula off to the lab and I said, okay, can you make this? And he sent it back to me and it was incredible. I was like, oh, it's amazing. It doesn't have that same frequency though. Like I can feel a different frequency with the one at my house. And I was like, okay, can you do this? I need you to set the crystals around the space of the filling. I need you to set this music on this particular playlist I gave him at 528 hertz frequency. And he's like, yes, 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 I love this. We could do this. And so that really changed the vibration of the product. So I want you to all understand that there's so much more going into this product than just the Rose Hydrosol, which in itself is amazing because of the higher energetics of it. But this particular Rose Hydrosol, as I mentioned before, there's two different kinds. One's from Bulgaria, one's from Morocco. They're both hand harvested at dawn, so you can really get the delicate nature of the rose. They're both gently steam distilled. They're both not byproducts. They're doing the whole flower infusion and distillation, so you're getting a trace amount of rose essential oil. And you're really tapping into the flower's living frequency and high vibrational frequency. So hopefully that helps you feel connected to this and understanding of what went into this and rose in itself, how magical it is.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm most excited about. I feel like all of our products have a good kind of vibrational feel, but I feel like we really prioritized that angle of it when we were creating this one. I want to do a giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you've never been on these calls before, when we do a giveaway, we're going to ask a question and then you put your responses into the chat. And then Grace is going to select someone. We are, of course, going to give away one of our Rose Hydrosols. But what I would like to know is what's the best feeling product you've ever used? So, something that when you've put it on, it kind of almost transcends presence. Like you really are able to kind of sense more about the product. It could be ours, but it also could be another brand. And of course, I'd selfishly love to know what the other brand is, but I'd love to hear what those are.
Love that question.
Oh, the Divine Woman. I also big time agree, which I will just talk about the Divine Woman briefly because we don't have it right now. The Divine Woman is a facial oil that we launch once a year. And when we launch that product, where the product itself is crafted, like, it looks like this. using herbs that Anne-Marie grows herself. And I feel like that was one of the first products that I tried in a long time that just felt like that much fresher, potent, like really, really alive. And we get to skip over the middleman. We get to skip over the whole supplier process when we're using the herbs that Anne Marie grows. So that one, we launch it around August every year. So, and it's limited edition. So when it sells out, it sells out. But if that piques your interest, of course, stay tuned. Check your emails around late summer and snatch the next batch when it
Mhm.
comes out.
I love some of these. These are great.
Mm, yeah, all of these are really wonderful.
Okay, we have a few people mentioning the love oil. That is coming back in stock. We've had people ask for years and we've done the mist, we've done the body oil, and I guess it's just not the same for some of you. So I connected with the lab and I said, okay, we're going to bring it back. And we switched some of the sourcing to new vendors that we're using, which I think the integrity is just so elevated from anything out there. So I think it's going to be better. So many answers here.
I know.
We do have a winner. So our first winner is Kimberly Hamlet. So yay, Kimberly. I'm so excited for you. For all of our giveaway winners, I'm going to put a form in the chat right now for you to fill out. It's just quick contact info, just your name and email, and then I will email you after the call to get your product sent your way. So keep your eyes out for that. But yay, Kimberly.
Amazing. Congratulations. iPhone 631-806-0592. Yes, I answered you above. 2 years. The oils last 2 years. I'd love to touch on how this is different from the botanical hydration mist. Someone asked, can I just swap it out? Do you want to speak to that a little bit more?
Yeah, so the Botanical Hydration Mist, if you aren't familiar, this one, it does have a little bit of rose in it. It also has Immortelle, and those are the two kind of anchoring florals, rose and Immortelle, in the Botanical Hydration Mist. Another thing that really sets the Botanical Hydration Mist apart is it does have this profile of different chamomiles. So we've got 3 or 4 different types of chamomile, as well as some frankincense. So with the Rose Hydrosol launching, I think the Botanical Hydration Mist is still going to be very ideal for those who are very sensitive. So those who are prone to getting very red, to the very, very dry, kind of dry in conjunction with flakiness, discomfort, patchiness, all of that. Um, the botanical hydration mist is going to feel, still very soothing for those particular concerns. For those who are, you've got the dryness, you're working on softening signs of aging, I think you could go either way. And so if you're on the fence at this point, I would definitely give the rose a shot. You have the 20% off coupon, and so giving yourself the opportunity to try that is going to be a great way to go. The scent profiles, of course, are going to feel different. So the Botanical Hydration Mist, this one smells a lot like kind of like a floral chamomile tea. Can't get mine open. Oh, here we go. Yeah, so you've got a lot more of the chamomile as part of the scent profile in the um, yeah, in the Botanical Hydration Mist. So I think a deciding factor for you would be if you are very, very sensitive. So if you're somebody who is that, that skin type that gets really raw, really red, really tender, you might still prefer the Botanical Hydration Mist. Otherwise, I think that you could do just as well with the Rose Hydrosol and use that one. And you might have one that's a morning one, you might have one that's an evening one, if you've got two that you love. integrating both is good. What would you say, Rach?
Yeah, I would agree. They're also totally different scent profiles, so you can have both. I like to use the Botanical Hydration Mist in the morning and then the rose in the evening, or I'll use the Botanical Hydration before my serum, and then right before I apply my face cream, I'll do the rose. And the rose is really nice throughout the day. It's a little bit of a pick me up. So they're totally different scent profiles, so you can alternate between the two.
Yeah, and Laura, yes, if you're very sensitive, you can definitely use both of them. Yeah, I think that that would be particularly good. And you might, so if you know your skin and you know that maybe, in the morning you tend to be a little bit drier or a little bit more on the red side, maybe the morning toning mist is the botanical hydration and the evening is the love. Or it could be the other way around. So if you know that towards the end of the night, you really want to put that kind of chamomile onto the skin. That could be the botanical hydration mist, could be the evening, and the love could be the morning. Maybe you want that, not the love, excuse me, the rose. The rose could be your morning one. And you want that frequency, that rose frequency kind of taking you into your day. So both are good. And I think knowing your skin is also going to be helpful with making that decision. Um, this is a really good time to ask questions. So as you're kind of wondering, other things about it, maybe what products go really well with it, pop those in the chat and we can start to get those answered here. I feel like I saw one above that I want to find.
And Laura, yeah, you can use rose by itself during the day just to feel more hydrated. I mean, you could also do that with the Botanical Hydration Mist. But yes, if you're using both, you can spray both of them. But yeah, I'll keep it on my desk and spray my skin whenever I need it.
Gotcha. Okay, I do see Pam's question from above. I think we kind of hit this. So Pam notes that she loves the botanical hydration mist, but she's 60, so should she make the switch? And I feel like we covered that. So you might, if this sounds like something that you want to try, if that rose frequency sounds like something you want to kind of set your skin up with, this is also going to be very supportive for mature skin. So this could be a very good one. The big kind of decider would be uh, how sensitive you are, how sensitive you get. Uh,
And yes, Beth, this is used post cleanser. So you would cleanse your skin and then you would mist and then you would serum and then you would do your moisturizer, whether it's a cream or an oil.
Ooh, this is a really good question, Rachel. So iPhone and then phone number mentions that they love the wild fruit serum and restorative facial cream and botanical hydration mist. How is the new rose different from the botanical hydration mist? So the rose that's in the botanical, how's that different than the rose that's in the rose hydrosol?
There's only a very small percentage of rose in the Botanical Hydration Mist. I think it was 10%, if I'm going off memory. It's primarily the helichrysum, and then there's chamomile and frankincense and rose hydrosols added in with it. Chamomile is the second largest percentage, and then rose and frankincense. And then there's a couple essential oils in there as well, two chamomiles and rose. I think and helichrysum actually. But this one is 100% rose. So it's very different in that sense. It has a little bit of rose, the botanical hydration mist, and this is 100% rose. Hope that helps.
Yeah. Will we be offering a smaller travel size? I believe that we are. So a lot of times what happens with our products is we'll launch the full one, and then in time there'll be a sample size. And sometimes the sample size is like a gift with purchase. Sometimes it's something that lives on the site. But I'm pretty sure this one we do have the intention for a smaller travel size. Grace, is that, do we know? Do you know? Yeah, okay. Grace knows. Let me see some of these other ones. Can you use the Radiant C resurfacing and what? Maybe and this? Um, so Radiant C. and resurfacing facial exfoliant. These are our two different products, Radiant C, resurfacing facial exfoliant. Both of these you could use and then apply the Rose Hydrosol. So, just like you would do your normal routine, you would use one of these exfoliants and then rinse and then mist the skin. So, yeah, those can absolutely be used in conjunction with each other. Should you put the hydrate booster on before the hemp serum? Oh, yeah. So Colleen's right. You can mix these together. The hydrate is a booster. And generally speaking, with the boosters, we're recommending that those get mixed into something else. The hydrate's one of the gentler ones. It's probably not going to trigger any kind of sensitivity or reactivity directly on the skin. But the hydrate is hyaluronic acid, and so it's a humectant. So basically, it seeks out moisture to pull it to itself. It's going to do a lot better when it's mixed into something that's kind of full-bodied, like the cream, like the serums, like the oil. If you put it directly on the skin and then nothing else, sometimes you can feel drier because it'll pull moisture from the skin. So put it into something. I think it's going to serve you a lot better being mixed into the hemp serum than being applied before. And I bet you'll notice a difference if you've been using it layered, that feels pretty good. Pamela, so how many times can I use this during the day? And will it dilute the facial oil serums on my face if used too often? Oh, that's such a good question. So you can use it as part of your regular routine, but just like with the other toners, just like with the hair and body mists that we have, these can be misted throughout the day if you just want to pick me up. Um, I think it would take quite a bit to really disturb your oil serum balance on the skin. Usually, when I'm doing kind of a midday pick me up, I'll mist the skin a little bit heavier when I'm doing my routine, and then do just a lighter kind of layer when I am doing, midday. I need a boost. Maybe I just want to smell the neroli, something like that. I'm not going quite as saturated on the skin. So, um, yeah, I think you'd have to really push the edge to go too hard there. And I think you'll know pretty quickly. If it's dripping off the face, you put a little bit more on than you need. So, hey, Allison. Okay, can you please go over the Botanical Lactic Toner? Oh, of course. Ooh, fun. Okay, so you can actually layer these. The Botanical Lactic Toner that Allison's referring to is also a recent launch. So this is another toning option that we have. This one uses a lactic acid. So this is a fruit-derived lactic acid. Now, because of that lactic acid, we are not using a sprayer top. We don't want you to get that lactic acid in or on the eye. So you pump it into the palm of your hand, right? And then it's still a very liquidy formulation. You just take your fingers and apply it to the skin. Now, the botanical lactic toner with that lactic component, it might be that your skin, depending on where your skin is at in the sensitivity spectrum, you might use this 3 or 4 nights on and then take a couple nights off. You might use it every other night. I've got a couple customers, so I host one-on-one consultations. If that's interesting, please come hang out with me. Grace will link it in the chat here. But I've got a couple customers I've been working with recently who use that every single night. And so there's a kind of a scale of the frequency which with you might be using that. But the botanical lactic toner, this one is going to be very refining for the skin. So lactic acid is a great skin smoother. And we've paired this with some hyaluronic acid. So when we're using this on the face, especially at night, this is super nice for fine lines. Really great for kind of smoothing areas of the face. This is also very helpful for like texture. So if you've got areas of the face where you just notice there's a little bit of texture. So this is a really nice one if you're someone who kind of has a skin type that what like sits over two types, like maybe you're on the dry side but you get really oily in the T-zone, or you're on the mature side. The botanical lactic toner is a very supportive one for that. Now, just like you can with the Botanical Hydration Mist, you can also use the Rose Hydrosol and mist it over the top of it before you go into your serum and moisturizer. That's not required, but you definitely can. So you can apply, the Botanical Lactic Toner uh, all over the face. You can also apply the Botanical Lactic Toner in areas where you're really wanting to kind of concentrate or focus. So maybe your skin's on the very dry side and you want to really work on the T-zone. So you might do Botanical Lactic Toner just in the T-zone and then misting over the face the Rose Hydrosol. That's a great, great, great way to layer it. You don't have to, but that does pair really nicely together. And you can do either the Botanical Hydration Mist or the Rose Hydrosol. Well, frankly, you could do any of them over the top of it, but for the sake of this conversation, the Rose Hydrosol. And then just like when you're using a toning mist, you can decide whether you're going to apply your serum while the skin is damp, or you can let that absorb and apply the serum after that has absorbed into the skin. I usually apply it while the skin is still damp, with the Botanical Lactic Toner included. So that is how I integrate that one.
A couple of other questions. Someone's asking, Judy, can you use the Botanical Lactic Toner with the Rose Hydrosol? You just went over that one. Oh, that was it. Do you know when the anti-aging serum will be back in stock? We're looking at about a week or two. So get on the wait list for both of those, both sizes, so you can get notified for that. I just went through our site and saw a couple of things are out of stock, so sorry about that. I think we're just selling a little bit more than we typically do. So we try not to have too much in inventory because we want things to be freshly made. So it's a little bit of a juggle 15 years later. So apologies there. And then there was another question I wanted to get to. Oh, this will not be limited edition, the Rose Hydrosol. This will be permanently available. So as long as we can keep inventory in stock, we will have it. Yeah.
Yeah, good question. These are good questions. I see Tracy has a question about whole body care. So it sounds like where you're at, it's very dry. We do have a full body line. So we've got body oil, we've got a body lotion, our Radiant Skin Silk. We also have a body butter, which I am just absolutely constantly obsessed with. It's called the Palo Santo body butter. If you're very, very dry, this might be the one that you reach for. And I'll show off what this one kind of looks like. She's super thick. Yeah, she feels really good. I'm gonna put a little bit on my hands. But you can check out the body products on the body page on the site and see what we've got there. What else are we wondering?
I would also like to do a giveaway of a test batch of a rose, Boswellia rose eye balm. So you are
Oh,
getting a sneak peek of something that we plan on launching later this year, and we're still in the R&D phases. So this is a test batch made. Um, and I think it's going to be near the final one. So I would love to hear someone's feedback. And I guess this will go out to a special person here. Kate, I don't have a question. Do you have any questions, other questions you want to ask?
no, but I want to think of something that has to do with like test batch or formulation or
Yeah.
um what? I can't think of anything.
Well, I can talk about it briefly while
Yeah, I'll think of
I
something.
think of a question. So we wanted to have something that wasn't as activated as like our stem cell eye cream or fruit ceramide eye cream. We wanted to have something that was more nourishing. So this one has a blend of multiple butters. I'm going to pull up my formula doc really quick. But it has multiple butters. It has rose wax in this one, which smells divine. And then it also has quite a few amazing little oils. So let me run through the ingredient list here so that you can get excited, just like I am. So it has Kuopasu butter, which is really soothing and has a really creamy texture. It has beeswax, cocoa butter, mango butter, shea butter, rose wax, bakuri butter. It does have a little bit of pearl powder, which adds some brightening to it. And then also, what I did with this one is I infused frankincense resin into jojoba oil. So you're getting that boswellia resin, and that smell is perfection. But also, the benefits of that are really great for softening the skin, brightening the skin. So there's that. There's ozonated castor oil in this one. So we partnered with a company that I've known for a little bit, and they have an ozonated castor oil, which is really, really, really rich. So that one's amazing. And then there's also pomegranate seed oil, plum kernel oil, marula oil, prickly pear seed oil, red raspberry seed oil, seed buckthorn berry CO2 extract, squalene, green tea seed oil. It's vitamin E, astaxanthin, a little bit of a lavender infused frankincense essential oil, rose absolute, and some rosemary antioxidants. So that's a full list. So I told you everything, but I said it because I really like all the ingredients are very intentionally chosen. And I feel like it's the perfect combination of all of them so that I'm not going to open this one because this one's going to be for you, but it's thick and creamy, but it doesn't melt to turn into oil. So I place it around my eyes. I have some on now. So it's not oily, it's more creamy. And then I also put it in my 11s and I put it on my lips and around my lips before I do cupping. It's a great little balm. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I did think of a question. I want to know, and I want to see if someone asked you on the street to describe your skin, what would you say?
Ooh, I like that. And with this eye balm, I don't know when it's going to be available. It depends on if I need to make any changes to it. I'm gathering some feedback now on the scent, on the texture. So if you did win this, I do want to hear from you, just so you know. It is. Yeah, it is a fun job. I was sitting at my desk one time and my husband comes in and I'm like, and start typing. I like just spray it and start typing. And he just looks at me and he's like, you've won in life. I can't even. I was like, that's not all my job is. But I do like that part of it.
Yeah.
Uh, Pampered mature. I love that. The combination. Let me see if it's dry. Dry sensitive. It's better. No, Jan, we want you to try it.
Kimberly, I see your question here. Will there be a code for you to use for the Rose Hydrosol? Yes. So probably after we finish this giveaway where all these things are coming into the chat, Grace can post again the coupon code so that you have that. I'm a little behind on the chat here.
Me too.
Yeah, the rose eye balm is really nice. I do also have one of the little test batches, and it's just like the way my eyes feel in the morning after is so, so unbelievably soft. Feels so, so good. I've actually put mine over my entire face. It's still new, so we're figuring out the fun ways to use it, but I've also liked it used like that too.
So many good answers.
Ooh, okay, this is a good question. Will the rose eye balm be better for daily use or better at night? I think you could do either. I've been mostly using it at night, but there have been some mornings where I feel like my eyes are just really dry. My skin in general is just really dry. And so I put it on in the morning as well. So would you get it? you can kind of explore. You might prefer it as a nighttime one, but it perfectly can be used during the day as well.
Yeah, I've been using it morning and night. For some reason, I like having a very thick balm, like a wax, when I go out into the world, into the sun and the elements, just because it really keeps it protected, in my opinion.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, Grace, do we have a winner?
We do. Our winner is Lisa Purvis. So yay, Lisa. I'm so excited for you. This
Yay.
one was kind of hard because I'm so excited for everyone to try it. I was like, how am I supposed to just pick one? But I'm so excited for you, Lisa. It's amazing. And I will put the link in the chat for the form for you to fill out right now.
Cool. And Lisa, I'm also probably, is there an email in there for her, Grace? Because I'm going to want to email her personally. Okay. Okay, cool. Great. I also saw in here a comment of dull skin. I want to just touch on a couple products that could be really great for dull skin. I mean, one, the Rose Hydrosol being used before serums is great to really just give you some vibrance. I feel like it'll give you that energetic vibrance, which also comes out through your skin. But then also the Botanical Lactic Toner. We've talked about this a little bit. This one's incredible for dull skin. It will really clear out your pores and really allow your skin to be vibrant. And then also the resurfacing facial exfoliant, if you wanted to do a deeper exfoliation every couple of weeks. In addition to that, that one's incredible. And then the Pro Mask. The Pro Mask is probably my number one go-to product for dull skin. I did it this morning. I woke up kind of like, and I did the Pro Mask. Just slather it on, go about my morning doing everything I need to do. An hour later, rinse it off. And it really allows your skin to be hydrated, glowing, a little bit brighter, smoother. It's great. So I would say if you wanted to slowly incorporate some of those products into your routine, those would be great for dull skin. Someone's asking, is Amber skincare products all natural, no chemicals, no synthetic chemicals? So water is technically a chemical. Someone corrected me a very long time ago on that. So I will say that we do not use toxic synthetic chemicals. Everything is made from natural ingredients, naturally derived. All of our products go through a Made Safe verification screening. So Made Safe is a third party program that screens every single ingredient to make sure no harmful ingredients are in there, or byproduct or pesticide residue, genetically engineered start or finish. So some products you'll see they're like no GMO. A lot of the times they're using a genetically engineered crop, so you're still supporting the genetically engineered industry and the monoculture cropping and the pesticide use and what's happening in our country, but the end product doesn't have GMOs in it, which that's not what we do. We say we don't want the beginning product or the end product to have GMOs. So even if the origin is GMO, it's a no-go for us. Same with synbio, synthetic biology. So anything that goes through fermentation, using a bacteria, anything like that, we do not use synthetic biology as well. And that's also Made Safe standards. So also with Made Safe, they're not just looking at the one ingredient, they're looking at how this ingredient is paired with other ingredients in that formulation. So anything combined can cause some sort of reaction, whether it's aquatic disruption, developmental to your health, your hormone system, your brain development. There's so many things they're screening for, and our products go through that as well. So when you say natural, I feel like we take it a little bit further. By a little bit, be like the top level, probably the cleanest line that I've been working with Amory Skincare for 15 years, and I love skincare in general, and I will be the first to say I will try every skincare line out there as long as it's pure, because I like skincare and I feel like this is the cleanest that I've ever found. I also am in charge of doing all the ingredient research, and I am a little bit of a stickler. So I feel like everything needs to be perfection in terms of sourcing, in terms of purity, in terms of also vibration, like talking to manufacturers or suppliers, and they say, oh, well, you can label it like this. And it's like, we don't want to work with someone who isn't, isn't truthful and honest and real and putting that energy into the products. So that's just a little bit about our products. No, thanks for linking out to that, Grace. We also have a really great page that I did a long time ago um, on our site, Defining Clean Beauty. So this is one because I feel like we got this question so often, like what is clean? And it's so convoluted. So I put together this page here that you can read about how we define clean beauty and what it means, what it doesn't mean, what's permitted, all the different things in there. I think it's a really good read for someone interested. Okay, I'm still looking at some more questions here.
Yeah, I see Allison's question here. So Allison has a question about the resurfacing facial exfoliant, so
Mhm.
this product here. And is you're wondering if you have to rinse it off or can you leave it on? I've never tried just leaving it on. So the timeline on this one is usually like, between 3 and 10 minutes. My experience with leaving it on longer than 10 minutes is like you're kind of peaking in activity and then that activity is starting to fade. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Rachel, what are your thoughts? Would you apply this and just leave it? I feel like what comes to mind is that it would feel like a little sticky or tacky if you're trying to put anything on over it. And if you're going outside, so to a special occasion, I would definitely advise sunscreen or sunlove after using something like that.
I would never leave it. Yeah, Allison, because you're saying you're going to a special occasion. I mean, there's a lot of honey in this product, so you're going to have some sticky skin after using that one. If you were looking to put one on and leave it, I mean, the Botanical Lactic Toner is one that I'll only apply in the evening because you definitely want to wear sunscreen afterwards. But if it's an evening event, I still don't even know that I would leave it on, but you could. That would be the only one that I would say if you wanted like that glowing. But if you are going to an event, I would say do the lactic toner, the botanical lactic toner, followed by the pearl mask. So apply the botanical lactic toner, let it dry maybe a minute or two, and then apply the pearl mask. Leave that on for maybe 30, 40 minutes, then rinse everything and then go to your event because you'll notice your skin is just boop. Hopefully that helps. Someone's mentioning there's so many products discussed. So sorry, Tracy. We will have a replay of this, so you can go back and watch it, but I will try to say the names slower. Just now, I was speaking about the Botanical Lactic Toner and the Illuminating Pearl Mask. Okay, Jan, Purity Woods. I honestly have never heard of this line, so I want to check it out. And I would say
Same.
the easiest way to look up or to find out about a product line is just look at the ingredients. I mean, packaging can also be helpful, packaging in glass, packaging in darker glass so that no light can penetrate it, is what you're looking for. But ingredients can kind of tell you your starting point of a product. So I'll just go to their ingredients and I would probably email them to ask them questions. Just because
Yeah.
I mean you're not going to know exactly where it's sourced from. A lot of ingredients, um, Yeah, I would have to do more research on their sourcing. It looks fairly clean. Yeah. But I would feel comfortable emailing brands. That's one thing I feel like a lot of people maybe don't do. I feel like we're so diligent on like researching a pair of shoes or a pair of jeans that we really, really want. And we'll like try them on and we might try on different sizes, we might try on different colors and different cuts. But for some reason, we're supposed to just accept whatever, a brand tells us, and just trust them. That sounds like such a skeptic, but I think it's really healthy to email and say, hey, where's this derived from? Hey, tell me about this sourcing. I think it challenges the brand to always do better as well.
Yeah, and when I'm looking at other skincare lines, I also like to ask questions, like if I've emailed them about like their team size and their company culture and go a little bit
Mhm.
extra and just be like, okay, maybe they've got organic products, but are they taking care of their people? Are they, yeah, like is it a nice environment? Just kind of other
Other
layers of it. So, yeah.
uh, Yeah, we've talked about doing a webinar on how to read labels, which it's on my to-do list. So one day it will happen. But I feel like an easy way to see some of purity tests, like obviously don't look at their oil because that's going to be an oil formula. There's not going to be anything in there that's questionable. But looking at creams to see what they're using for emulsifiers or if they've added water to blend it with is always a really good uh, litmus test. Yeah, I'm not going to give it like my solid approval because I haven't done the due diligence, but just looking at it, it looks like a cleaner brand. So, just my opinion.
Yeah. I'm curious if the packaging on it is plastic or glass. I can't really tell from the site.
That would
One,
definitely be something I would be curious on. Yeah.
yeah. One of the things I wonder, and this is one of the things I notice when I'm looking at other brands, it is like with plastic packaging, I know that there are a lot of small brands that start out with plastic packaging, and so maybe their whole product is clean. But like if you've got a warm product that you're pouring into a plastic bottle, like there's no way to get around the leaching of the plastic. Um, and that, these microplastics being in the product that you're applying to the skin.
Hmm.
So just another thing that I think about when I'm looking at other lines. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, Diane. Yeah, and if there's something that you've seen, I mean, these live calls are really helpful for us to hear from you on what you're looking for. And maybe that'll be our next question. We'll do another giveaway. Because I feel like if you're used to using another brand because you really love a particular ingredient that's being featured or a benefit that's featured or something about that, I mean, we're down to explore and make it. We want to have everything that our customers want. So let's do that question. What ingredients or products are you currently using from another brand that you wish Anne Marie Skincare had in their products? And we'll do one giveaway of the Rose Hydrosol.
And just to like make this full circle here, this type of question is where the rose hydrosol came from in the
Sure.
first place.
Yeah. So we do listen. We
Yes.
Yeah, someone asked how do we handle the plastic with our travel? I mean, honestly, this is why we've gotten rid of so many travel products. And we used to have samples and travels, and we just did away with all of it and put everything into glass. So you will notice a lot of our travels come in glass and some of them still come in travel, but we try not to do a lot. When we launch a new product, we try to just do 500 so some people can try it, and then we just have a really strong return policy so that we can say, just try the product full size. And if you don't like it, let us know and we can do a return. Um, but it's kind of a tricky thing. We don't do a lot of them. We don't do it all the time. And we also really incorporate a lot of glass into our trial sizes. Someone asked, any thoughts on adding a tallow product? So we haven't because our customer base, a lot of our customers have come from the vegan world. So we've always steered away from it. But I do want to mention that we do carry another brand, Excusia Wild. It's my brother's company, and he just came out with a Majea balm that has tallow. And I was talking to another team member about it, and she's like, "We have to carry it." So we may do it. We may carry the Majea balm. I was using it, and it's so creamy. If you felt ghee before, it kind of feels like that, just like this silky, creamy, and it's really nice and really rich on your skin. So keep an eye out for that because we might. And yes, it's a beef tallow. It's a grass-fed, grass-finished suet tallow. Maple extract. Okay. Magic potion. I'm gonna look these up. Hold on, let's call. Okay. Sunscreen, beef tallow, castor oil.
Ours, I don't know the brand Hylunia. I'm gonna look that up. But we do have a vitamin C. We have a pure concentrated vitamin C, either as part of the concentrated boosting elixirs. There's one called Brighton, which is a pure, yeah, concentrated delivery of vitamin C. You can also invest in that as a solo product. So we
It's
do
out of
have.
stock at the moment, but we will have it back soon. Sorry
Mm.
about that. And then hand lotion. I can't speak highly enough about the Radiant Skin Cell Cleanser Exfoliant. I would, Judy, if you haven't tried the Kale and Micro Exfoliant, that one's great blended with the Aloe Herb Cleanser, and you can use it more frequently since it'll be softened up with blending it with a cleanser. Hair oil. Okay, I like that, Karen. I'm curious what you use the hair oil for because we do have the hair serum, which is oil based and butter based.
Okay, so I see two. Vladana mentioned moisturizer, and I'm wondering if you mean like a moisturizing cream. We do have our restorative facial cream, which is a facial moisturizer that's not an oil. So we have oils that we use as moisturizer, but then we also do have a cream option. And then Darla mentioned eye makeup remover. I actually use the herbal facial oil for sensitive skin as my eye makeup remover. You can use the what is this guy? Restorative cleansing oil. So one of these two, but if I've had a night where had an event or something and I'm wearing a lot of eye makeup, I will usually do the herbal facial oil for sensitive skin as my eye makeup remover. So you might try it.
And also, someone's mentioning a primer, perfecting primer. I was chatting with Alexandra the other day, a team member of ours, just about some of the ingredients in the restorative facial cream and how it really, I have it on right now, how it leaves your skin kind of feeling matte. I think a lot of it's from some of the powdered ingredients like the pearl in there. But I feel like it leaves it like a perfect little prime sheet for something else to go over it. So it's not necessarily a primer, but it does leave that matte finish if you are looking for that.
We do have a winner. So our winner is Tracy Feltz. So yay, Tracy. I will put the form in the chat right now. But I'm excited for you to try the Rose Hydrosol.
Congratulations. Nice. Okay, I'm trying to see if there's any questions here. Pam Groves to soothe redness on the cheek area. I'd say Botanical Hydration Mist and then a gentle oil like the sensitive. Kate, what would you suggest with that one?
Yeah, definitely botanical hydration mist. You might do either the hemp serum or the probiotic serum. And then the herbal facial oil for sensitive skin. Those three steps are going to be really, really nice.
We have one more minute. I'm seeing if there's any other questions. Also, I just want to mention we started putting in some 15-minute segments to dive deep into particular topics that it seems like our customers are wanting to hear about. So check out our events page for that.
Yeah, Grace and I were talking on the call just now. We have seen a lot of questions about the Botanical Lactic Toner, so we're probably going to do a 15-minute that's just on the Botanical Lactic Toner. So again, check out the events page and join us for those 15 minutes, super quick, diving into things, keep it pretty focused, all of that.
And I see the Chibula suggestion. I have been looking at that, but I want to find another antioxidant that might be a little bit stronger. Um, Hand cream. I'm going to download this chat so that I have it. Hair serum. Can we link the hair serum, Grace? Oh, growth hair serum. Okay. Okay, that's helpful. So I just wanted to mention the skin transformation course. We had a call for our customers who joined it, and we dove into some of the things that we do. There is a great buccal massage that really helps with the under eye. So if you are interested, I would do it right now, but I don't know how clean my hands are, so I don't want to stick them in my mouth. But check out the course, or maybe the next live event. I'll have time to show you. Maybe we'll do a live event on buccal massage specifically. But
Mm,
the skin transformation course is really cool because it dives into that, plus cupping, plus gua sha, face massage, lymphatic drainage, face exercise, face yoga, all the things, and diet and skincare routines. So it's
mhm.
pretty comprehensive.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else, Kate?
No, I think that's good. I see Kathy's comment that the event shows 2025 events and not 2026. We will,
Thank you.
oh, okay, they are 2026 events.
Oh.
We're catching up. It's still the new year. But I think I'm complete. So I thank everyone for joining us on this live event. These are so fun, and we love when you come hang out with us and ask us questions. So looking forward to seeing you guys on the next one.
Who won the last question? Laura's asking. Sorry, really quick. And then also, Elena, I just want to mention we do have a feature with our cart where once you place an order, you can edit that order for up to, I think it's 15 or 30 minutes. So just pop back in and you can edit your order and add that coupon code. Grace, who was the last winner?
Tracy Feltz.
Thank you, Laura. There you go. Tracy won. Congrats, Tracy. Okay. Thanks, everyone. We hope you love the Rose Mist. And then I think it was Lisa, but whoever won the bomb, I will send it out to you and then I will email you to get your feedback. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, guys.